Congratulations! You've eaten your first victim. In this game, you play a vicious creature who lives at the bottom of a pit and eats the people who fall in. The creature is blind, and the pit is pitch black, so there's nothing to see.
Into the Pit is a song by the legendary metal band Testament, a vicious little thrash number with fast riffs, driving rhythms, explosive guitar leads. In a word, it's loud. In the Pit, on the other hand, is anything but. Of course, to be fair, I think they're describing two very different pits. One is a place where people run in circles, the other is a place where people are eaten by monsters. Speaking of the latter, this is In the Pit, a game that utilizes very different senses to create a very different game.
So the prisoner says to me, "My children, I thought this stew tasted familial."
Released to the Xbox Live Indie channel back in 2008, In the Pit was one of the first high-profile releases from R. Hunter Goff, a developer who went on to conjure even more awesomeness with stuff like Crosstown and Paper Galaxy. But again, this one's different, because unlike Crosstown, Paper Galaxy, and most video games in general, you can play In the Pit with your eyes closed.
There you are. How about you, beast?
In the Pit tells a story about an evil king who keeps a monster in the sewer beneath his castle. In fact, the creature actually lives in the pit, and the king uses this monster as a living garbage disposal. Only he defines garbage as anyone who pisses him off.
Arise, my pet. We have a visitor for you. Throw her in.
And that's where you come in. As the monster, you have to track down and eat the people who are unlucky enough to have been thrown in the pit. But the catch is, the monster's blind. The screen displays nothing. So your interactions are based not on what you see, but what you hear and feel. You have to use all those sounds, their footsteps and breathing specifically, to hunt them down and eat them alive. But another catch is that you make noise too, at least if you walk too fast or try to swallow someone who's still out of reach. And if that happens, your tracking's all for naught. They'll run away and you have to pick up the trail all over again. And at first, it's a really disorienting game to play. You're used to your vision being the primary sense used during gaming, so taking it away feels incredibly awkward. It's almost like skating for the first time. But fortunately, the game doesn't take away touch. In fact, once you get close to your victims, you can feel their heartbeat as a subtle controller vibration. And it beats harder the closer you get. And when you're finally within striking distance, you hear this eerily loud breathing, and you feel a violently racing heart. And it's that gradual escalation of sensory stimuli that makes In the Pit such an immersive experience. Over the years, there have been a few games that tried to pull off this kind of blind gameplay, but few, if any, have done so this successfully. It definitely takes some getting used to, but once you get the hang of it, In the Pit is a great game with an incredibly daring design, a real testament to the power of simplicity. And a king with a sewer. What an asshole.
Ha ha! Victory is mine!
Game over.